Hi, everyone. This is Pinar. I'm the CEO of Timus Networks. And today I have with me Brandon Jones, the CEO of Attitude IT. Hi, Brandon.
Hey Pinar, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm doing well. And you're joining
Excellent.
from Toronto.
Toronto, yes, yes, yeah.
And I do know that Toronto is a big place for MSPs, right? There are a lot of MSPs in the Toronto area.
There are a lot of MSPs for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many, but I'm sure there's at least over 30. I don't know.
I guess that shows the strength of the small medium businesses there, right? So what's the sector that you usually work with?
Yeah, we work with multiple different sectors. Like one of our favorites is construction. Really like construction, anything engineering, especially like B2B type businesses. We like companies that make something, and if they make something for other companies, it's really great. We like that kind of stuff.
And how do you go about finding them? Is it usually a word of mouth, or do you do marketing? How do you approach finding new customers?
Most of the time it's referral. So like one company we might work with, they might have somebody else, or they might know of like a vendor or partner that they work with that could use our services.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times how it starts.
And I guess if it's like that, then trust becomes a big thing, right? So for clients to refer you to other clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust. I mean, IT, that's a big part of a company. That's a big part of a business. It's becoming more important as time goes on. So yeah, trust is huge.
And so when you start with a client, do you usually start slow and then build more services, or do you usually have a single bundle that you say like, hey, this is the way we're supposed to go? Like, how do you approach that?
So yeah, every client is different. We have a certain level, like a certain benchmark that we try to get our clients to. So we usually start off by like doing a walkthrough with the client, seeing how they approach IT, how their business works. And then we customize a plan to sort of like help improve where we can and further secure where we can as well.
Okay, and I know that you mentioned right before we started recording that your MSP is very security minded, right? So I guess you also do a whole evaluation how secure they are. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah, we're security first, so that's the first thing that we think of when we're implementing something. We also implement zero trust wherever possible as well.
yeah, so that's obviously music to my ears as a Timus founder.
Yes.
And yeah, so and what would you think about the education level of your clients when you tell them zero trust, the secure remote access is always on aspect of connectivity when somebody is traveling? Are they on par now with where you want them to be, or is there still education that needs to happen?
So I think there's still education that needs to happen in a few areas. Zero trust, I mean, I think everyone has a different idea of what that is. And there's different areas of IT where zero trust can apply.
Sure.
Timus is a big part of that, and it allows us to further lock things down in a way that we couldn't before. So
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things I say about this, what Timus does, for example, is with SASE, it's automates security a bit, right? Because as employees, as a lay person, like even me, like we are so busy on day to day, we cannot be, even though we know security is important, it cannot be always in the front of our minds. Like if I have to get to some company resource in a conference, I'm not going to remember that, oh, no, I have to have that VPN on first, right? Like if you leave it to the employees, they will make mistakes. So how can you minimize that attack surface such that it automates that security aspect and leaves the employees to be productive instead of having to think about security all the time?
So that's a cool thing. And like, yeah, Timus is a big part about that because, security is important, but convenience is important as well.
Yeah.
It's funny, like when COVID hit a few years ago, we had users at several clients. They packed up their laptop and they brought it home, and then they're like, "Hey, I can't reach the server anymore because they're no longer in the office." Whereas by having something like Timus in place, it's very cool because they can work as though they're in the office even when they're remote, and they don't have to think about it. It just runs in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's always on, it's seamless. So wherever you are, even on vacation, when you turn on the laptop, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying this literally, like because I'm a Timus. it's just so freaking convenient. Even obviously as Timus, we are a remote only company and we use Timus ourselves. And you know, I was traveling a couple of weeks ago. I was on vacation, but not really. You know, it's like
Yeah,
being on
never,
vacation.
right?
And I just love the fact that I don't have to think of the security aspect, because when you're just turn on the laptop, this encrypted tunnel and the connection is always on. No, it's very good. So how did you get started, Brandon? And I saw on your LinkedIn that you're also a published author. Tell me a bit about that.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we got started like back in 2003. I was still in college, so we were doing work for like residential and really small business clients. And then as the business matured, we turned into an MSP, and we saw a need for more security. So we're a very security-minded MSP. And so yeah, we actually had. I was part of a book that got published on Amazon as a bestseller, and it's a cybersecurity book. So a few
What's
other
it
business
about?
owners and I got it's literally I guess it's just it's stories about what other businesses have gone through to sort of like help make people think more about security in their company.
That's so important. And I know small, medium businesses sometimes think that, oh, this would never happen to me, right? I'm too small for anybody to care about me. And it could not be further from the truth, right? Because they're really in the sweet spot for hackers, because, you know,
it
they have less
it's
budget and yeah.
It's so common. A lot of companies do think that, but if you go to like a lot of people open up to me when I'm at like a chamber or board of trade event and they say like what's happened in the past or things like that. And I would say probably like, 80 or 90% of small businesses have been hit by something at some point.
Yeah.
And having the right things in place to prevent that is super important.
Yeah.
Even lately, like you can have MFA in place on cloud services. However, there's so many harvesting scams. They just have to trick an employee once.
Yeah.
By having Timus in place along with that, not to like over, sell it for you, but it's you can also lock it down by the IP address. So it just adds that extra layer of protection to prevent these things from happening.
Yeah, and it's really scary how easy it became also for these hackers or bad actors to be able to do these things, right? There's so many tools that's available to them. There are companies that do ransomware as a service. Like literally, like these people have their VoIP consultants, negotiators, and a small medium business data is as good as enterprise data. Like data is data, and actually, sometimes people think like, oh, they would have to target me for me to get hacked. Like, no, they just throw this fishnet and then they get anybody who gets caught in the net. So no, it's really important. So I guess my last question is, as an MSP, as a CEO, how is your day to day? Like, what do you do on a day to day? Do you have time to work out? Like, how does your day look like?
You try to get that in when you can, but yeah, the day to day can be quite busy. It's usually chatting with and visiting, with clients and other companies that are thinking about working with us or have questions. That's probably most of my day. That and managing the team and seeing what's going on and making sure everything's as it should be. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
know.
And do you have an office that you guys go to, or are you like remote or hybrid?
So yeah, we're all virtual. We had an office up till when COVID started, and then nobody wanted to come in. So we're all local though. We're all like within Canada, mostly near Toronto and the GTA. But it's everybody works from home right now.
Yeah. It's the same with us. Sometimes you miss the good old days of going to the office and stuff, but then
It's
you think,
cool. Yeah.
and then you think again, and like, hey, would I want to be driving like 40 minutes each day? It just sounds insane, right? Like how we used to do things and how different it is right now. I mean, I'll tell you,
Everything's sorry.
I work much more.
Yeah. Well, there's no cutoffs anymore, and you're always
No,
you're always there. You're always near a laptop. So
yeah, because you make your morning coffee, then what else are you going to do? I walk the dogs and then, yeah, okay, I'll open my laptop and then before you know it, your day started like before even 8 a.m. It's just completely different lifestyle. Brandon, thank you so much for your time. This was a great chat.
Thanks so much, Pinar. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you have a great day ahead too.
Thank you. You too. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Brandon.